Hi, class. Dr. Trey here, and I am giving you a little bit of discussion around the reflection I had on the article for the developmental perspectives around learning. And I'm not going to repeat everything I said in the reflection, but I'll repeat a little bit of it. I am showing you this diagram from the article. This is from the Nussbaum article here. And just, it's a model, it's a model. Pointing out a couple of things about the article that I noticed when I first read it, and I was reminded again when I reviewed it for this class to do this presentation for you, is that this doesn't really have all the aspects of a research report. It doesn't really have like a discussion, like a laid out method section and all of those different things. I'm a little bit of a traditionalist and a purist when it comes to that. I can't receive this as research evidence unless it has all the parts of a research study laid out. So that said, I'm looking at this as a model, proposed model for how one can apply these ideas of scaffolding, of cognitive conflict, of socio-cognitive conflict to create and to end the use of technology to create an optimal collaborative learning environment, right? Most of this research about cognitive conflict and collaborative learning based on these theories, developmental theories of Piaget and Vygotsky, that stuff has been done a lot on children. My thought is always, does it apply to adults? So that was one of the things I talked about in my reflection, and specifically as applied to this class and the activity, the assignment that every student has to do in a group, which is the reflection, activity, and group presentation. The other thing I wanted to, and so a lot of my questions are related to that aspect, kind of applying this idea to our class with a focus on socio-cognitive conflict, which if you'll read my reflection, you'll see that I'd forgotten about that concept, and I was intrigued and excited. And so I wanted to focus in on that. I think about like social media and how much people fuss and argue there, and how easy it is to see socio-cognitive conflict playing out right there in social media. So it's interesting. The other thing I wanted to note about the article, and I'm jumping around a lot, still recovering here, and that's why I'm not showing my face on this video, is the idea of the issue with the article of where the concept of socio-cognitive conflict originated. The article cites it as coming from Piaget. Piaget's, from my understanding, Piaget coined the cognitive conflict idea, which has to do with a learner's understandings being shaken up or challenged with exposure to new information or new ideas, right? Socio-cognitive conflict, that spin was originated by a different authors in the 70s, which Mungy, M-U-N-G-Y, and Doisy, D-O-I-S-E. I've cited those and included an article by them for you to check out. Their work looked at how socio-cognitive conflict, that is same type of conflict, but rooted in social interactions and oftentimes spurred by exposure to other diverse perspectives from others, other people, during discussion, during social interaction, deepens learning, enhances problem solving performance. These are conclusions that came from a series of studies that they did in the mid-70s. You can read more about that in articles that I've cited for you and that I've linked for you with the post. So that said, I just think it's an interesting concept. I'd like for you to reflect on how our group assignments and our group activities in this asynchronous online course may or may not have created cognitive conflict or socio-cognitive conflict for you as you participate in the discussions. The thing about it is, I know a lot of students don't like group projects. This has been my experience for the whole 24 years of my teaching. However, there is a lot of support for the types of learning and perspective sharing and meaning making and negotiation that is couched in social interaction. I also do believe that when I am reading a book or a piece written by someone else, I am engaged in a social dialogue, a nonverbal dialogue between my mind and that person's mind. So I definitely think that that's still a part of a socially grounded interaction. But the difference is that I can just read what they say. I can't speak back to them in the moment. I can't ask questions in the moment, or maybe I won't be able to ask questions and speak with them about their ideas at all. So it stops there. Whereas when we are discussing, whether it's live or asynchronous discussion, we are able to bounce ideas back and forth. We're able to discuss differences in opinion, commonalities in opinion. We're able to go in more deeply with negotiating, meaning making, and constructing knowledge together. So I do think that idea of this cognitive conflict that happens by way of collaborative learning and across our developmental trajectory, that stuff changes as we grow. I think about working professionals, which many of you are. What is that like for you learning at your developmental stage in life? When you learn, when you learn collaboratively with others, does it look anything like this model here that's showing on the screen? I don't know. It's something to think about. At any rate, I feel like there could be more research done on adult learners and where we are in our developmental trajectories and how that influences the way we learn professionally, informally, formally in our learning spaces like this formal learning space, or in your workplace learning spaces, informal or formal. So thanks for listening. I'm going to end there. Enjoy, and thank you for your interaction in these group activities.